personally, I have no idea.
But he builds these great relationships with boys. And he's been a mentor for years. He's an entrepreneur. He's got an ear to the street, ear to the ground, everything. So I'm going to turn the camera or the mic over to Calvin and let him tell you what he does, how he does it, and why he does it. I think, because how long we've been knowing each other for?
Oh, it's going
15,
on 10
years.
12 years, yeah.
Okay.
Look at 10.
All right, so tell me what's up. What's going on?
Well,
what you got going on? Tell me what you do first. Tell us what you do first.
Well, man, how do I say it? Like, I am the encourager.
Okay. Did you give yourself that title, or did somebody else, other people, tell you that that's what you are?
It is who I've been, and it was given to me. You know how you have to come up with get your signature and the whole nine. So how you copyright your signatures and things like that, and it was Heather, right?
Oh, okay. Hey, Heather.
You know, she was like, you have to be known as the encourager, because this is what you've been doing. I mean, as long as I've known you, this is what you've been doing, and so. I was like, okay, I can see that, right? And then, I started going back. And when I went back, it's like ever since I was a little boy.
Really?
10 years old.
The force was strong with you.
When I was 10, chubby checker, right? I'm on the block at 10 years old teaching everybody dance routines. Working at the store. Took a job at the corner store at 8.
Oh, really?
Shoveling snow, right? I come from, right? And my parents, my mom used to help prostitutes off the street. My dad was a gospel pioneer who brought the world "Oh Happy Day" and co-wrote 10 songs for Motown. So if greatness isn't in them, therefore it is in the seed that they gave me, right?
Right.
And so attached to that was God.
Okay.
And without
Hallelujah.
Glory.
Right. Without that, there is no Calvin Man, Columbus Man, Curtis Man, Carlton Man, Susie Man, Heidi Man, Cornell Man, Courtney Bell.
None of us
Damon
would be
Man.
here.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. You know what I mean? Because the seed ultimately is important, and I think we've lost our way in that regard. But I got involved, as a young man. I started coaching in 1992, which I just dropped that sweet hoodie. Everybody is missing it. It's the leadership hoodie, the Emiy lead with the eagle on it. In 1992,
I want one.
I was working in a daycare with nothing but white people.
Oh, what was that experience like? And how did that experience shape what you do now?
It shaped me greatly. I tried to avoid the lines, right, of racism. I wasn't taught racism. My mom and them, they weren't like that.
Okay.
Right. We wasn't taught, certain things. And, as a young man, I had to go get my own book reports. Right. So in going to get my own book reports, I saw how great we were. Right. And of course, you see the things out here. And of course, we buy into these conversations. But for me, my brothers, right, and what we grew up with, the number one thing was you had these things you had to do regardless. Okay. And so in 2004, after I started Encourage Me, I'm Young in 1992. Yes.
What is Encourage Me, I'm Young?
Well, Emiy, Encourage Me, I'm Young, that's where I was working in the daycare and I was trying to solve, right? One of the things I wanted to know is why we use the N-word. So that's why I took the gig in the daycare on my off days. Wanted to know what was the difference.
How old were you when you did this?
I was very young. I was like 22, 23. Like I was just getting into coaching, the whole nine.
Okay.
And me and my sister had a shop on 9 Mile in Ferndale. And I decided on the closed days, Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to go up in here, right, and see what's the difference, right?
Right. Was it a black daycare or white daycare?
It was all white.
Okay.
Right. For me, I because I don't get into the isms, I just wrote an article about that. The isms has a way of creating limitations, right? This is just my point of view. Okay. You don't have to agree with it. You know what I mean? But in that process, the door blew open, and the words "encourage me, I'm young" came through. It was like cliche. So the young lady that I was working with, her sister walks through the door. She was in the art. She was in middle school. I said, I need you to draw this picture and put everything in it for kids, right? And bring it to me. And when she brought it to me, I took it over to Arts Knitting Mill in Royal Oak, printed it, put a shirt on. I only bought like 10 shirts. And I put the shirt on like 10 people just to see what was going to happen. She busts in the door after school. She was like, everybody was stopping me. Everybody's talking to me. What is this? What is this? They were touching me and everything. They all want a shirt, this, that, and the other. And I laughed, right? Because I knew it was something special. So then we put it on our high school basketball team, right? We were coaching at Ferndale High School. I was associate coach to my Uncle Don, right? And we moved our senior class every year, right, through to college. We wasn't talking about it because, you know, if you talk about too much good for, you know, the system addresses and starts, right? So they didn't know. A lot of people didn't understand how much work was being put in, how much development was taking place, because me and my uncle played good cop, bad cop. A lot of kids won't like you, right? Because you got to push them to where they need to be, right? And, you know, they choose sides and they, you know, they say, well, you've done nothing, you know, and those types of things. But when I left Ferndale, when I was not accepted as the head coach, which was a big thing in my life, that was very big in my life, I was devastated. It was my brother Corn that told me, he said, oh, they gonna realize what they let go. Because it was crazy as I went in to do my second interview. They didn't want to give me the first interview. It was a teacher who fought for me to get my second interview. Now, mind you, been at the school 20 years.
Wow.
Right? From in-school suspension, all that, running it, banging it, changing lives. Right? So I put my Encourage Me, I'm Young plan literally on the table to them, what I was going to do with these boys in this program. When I left, we left a number 2 state-ranked team. We had boys already earmarked for college. Colleges used to come in the gym, watch our kids play. And our development, our study table resulted in a 3.2 grade point average, 21 ACT grade point average, the whole 9. Right? So now I'm devastated. I go and in the community. And I'm going to be a comedian, Trace. Like, I'm like,
are you serious?
I swear. I'm taking.
So after the coaching gig was off the table,
I was so
like, I'm gonna be a comedian.
You have no idea how devastated I was, because I had kids. Like, our program would have been on a whole nother level.
So, do you look at that now as a blessing, though? Because I know sometimes, you know how they say, you know, it's cliche, but it's the truth. When God closes one door, He opens another one. So, do you find that in that situation?